Hi, my name is Ryan Jewett, and I will be talking about the Herbert Hoover Boys and Girls Club of the Greater St. Louis. I will be covering some of the history that this place holds, and I will be tuning into the World Series, which was played here. Here are the directions to the Herbert Hoover Boys and Girls Club. First, turn left onto Clayton Road, then drive straight until you reach RT 141 North and turn right. Keep right onto I-64 East, then keep left for the Avenue of the Saints. Take the highway all the way down until you reach exit 37B, then exit onto Grand Boulevard. Turn right onto S. Grand Boulevard, keep straight until you reach Dotier Street, and turn left, then take a slight turn right, and there you are, Herbert Hoover Boys and Girls Club. The Herbert Hoover Boys and Girls Club in St. Louis has been part of the city's history for over a century, helping kids of all backgrounds grow, learn, and succeed. It all began in 1914 when a group of people in St. Louis saw that many children in the city didn't have a safe place to go to after school. Some kids didn't have enough food, and others found themselves getting into trouble because there weren't many programs to keep them busy. At first, the group set up a small center called the St. Louis Boys Club. It was a simple place with a few toys, books, and some other equipment for the kids who showed up. It meant a lot more than that. It was a safe place where they could play sports, do homework, and get some guidance from adults who cared about them. In the 1930s, when the Great Depression hit, many families lost jobs and homes. The club became even more important. They didn't just offer a safe place to hang out, they also gave kids meals, clothes, and school supplies when families couldn't afford them. In 1934, the club decided to honor President Herbert Hoover, who was known for his efforts to help people during the tough times. They renamed the club Herbert Hoover Boys and Girls Club in his honor. The club kept growing, and by the 1950s and 60s, they were offering even more programs to help kids succeed, not with just sports, but also with academics and leaderships. Herbert Hoover, the 31st president, made sure children had food, education, and safe places to grow up, especially during the hard times like the Great Depression. Because of all good things he did for young people, the club was named after him to honor his legacy of caring about kids and give them better opportunities. The name is meant to remind everyone that helping others, especially young people, is really important. The Herbert Hoover Boys and Girls Club of St. Louis is located on the historic site of Sportsman Park, the former home of the St. Louis Browns and later the St. Louis Cardinals. While the club itself doesn't host Major League Baseball World Series games, it stands on ground rich with baseball history. Sportsman Park is situated at the intersection of Grand Boulevard and Dotier Street in North St. Louis. It was a prominent baseball stadium from 1867 until 1966. It served as the home field for the St. Louis Browns and the Cardinals during their early years. After the Cardinals moved to a downtown stadium in 1966, the land was donated to the Herbert Hoover Boys Club, which later became the Boys and Girls Club of Greater St. Louis. Today, the club operates on the historic site, preserving its legacy. In 2009, the St. Louis Cardinals Community Foundation, Cardinals Care, funded and built a new baseball field at the Herbert Hoover Boys and Girls Club. This field, named All-Star Field, was constructed to honor the site's baseball heritage and provide local youth with a quality space to play the sport. The project was a collaboration between Cardinals Care and Anheuser-Busch, reflecting their commitment to community development. The establishment of the All-Star Field has had a significant positive impact on the community. It transformed an abandoned lot into a vibrant space for youth sports, offering local children opportunities to engage in baseball and other recreational activities. The field not only serves as a place for athletic development, but also as a symbol of the community's resilience and connection to its rich baseball history. While the Herbert Hoover Boys and Girls Club doesn't host Major League Baseball World Series games, its location on the historic Sportsman Park site and the presence of All-Star Field make it a significant landmark in St. Louis baseball legacy. The Herbert Hoover Club now spans 78,000 square feet and includes amenities such as dental clinic, technology center, aquatic center, and performing arts studio. Programs focus on character development, education, health, the arts, and workforce readiness, serving youth aged 6 to 18. Not even 5 minutes away from Herbert Hoover is a club called Mathew Dickeys, a club very similar to Herbert Hoover. The Matthew Dickeys Boys and Girls Club started in 1960 in North St. Louis. Two men, Martin Matthews and Hubert Dickey Ballantyne, founded it to help kids stay active and stay out of trouble by playing sports. At first, they just met under a tree in a local park, but then they had a big dream to help kids learn teamwork, discipline, and respect. By the mid-1960s, their small idea grew fast. The club had dozens of baseball, football, and basketball teams, kind of a sports version of the Herbert Hoover Boys and Girls Club. In the 1970s, they got their first building. Then in 1982, they opened a big 50,000 square foot center with a gym, pool, and classrooms, thanks to help from local businessmen and the community. In 2001, the name was changed to Mathew Dickeys Boys and Girls Club to show that it supported both boys and girls equally. The club didn't just focus on sports anymore. It added programs for school support, art, health, jobs, and leadership. Famous people have supported and visited this club. People such as Ronald Reagan, Bill Clinton, and Barack Obama. The club was even sponsored by Jason Tatum during Christmas, and he gave out presents to all the kids that were there. Unfortunately, Martin Matthews died in 2022. Here's a video stating his death.
Week, the co-founder of the Matthews Dickey Boys and Girls Club, Martin Matthews, died in hospice care.
He was 97 years old, and our Ryan Henson joins us in studio to paint the picture of Matthew's impact on St. Louis. Ryan?
Well, Mike and Ann, imagine giving nearly 70 years of your life to bettering others. That's the type of man Martin Matthews was, selfless and caring. Matthews used sports to create an avenue for tens of thousands of boys and girls in St. Louis to reach success.
Whoever thought a young man from the Boot Heel of Missouri could shape the future of St. Louis?
This is one of the fantastic teams that Mr. Matthews managed.
Martin Matthews initially reached kids through baseball. Tom Sullivan started with the Matthews Dickey Boys and Girls Club as a young athlete. Now he's the director